Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make your first million gold in Dragonflight. Let's get into it. So a quick rundown on how this is going to be the easiest way to do it is if you're starting from zero, you want to build up some capital first by doing farming. Now you don't want to get into transmog farming, you want to be farming Dragonflight material farms and things that sell really quick. And so what you're going to do is you're going to be doing them all throughout your journey to 1 million gold. Once you reach a couple 100k, you then want to move into flipping, so your gold is actually making money for you while you're out farming. Now, there's two ways to go about making gold farming. You farm the materials or you can do boosting. So I'm going to start off by showing you the top farming spots that I recommend doing. Now, they obviously are going to be the rousing farms. They sell really well. Your glow and titan orb farm, and then some cloth farms. But before you get into all of that, I recommend actually sorting out your professions. Now the best professions to actually do this and to make gold, personally I recommend is tailoring, for the main reason of having this right here, cloth collection. This will increase the amount of cloth you get from humanoids. You want to max this out, so you put 10 in the first one in tailoring mastering, and then you put 50 points into cloth collection. Now the second profession that you're going to want for this is enchanting. And now with enchanting, you want to have this right here, and it's under insight of the blue, so it's the second box here, and you want to have 50 points in insight of the blue. What this does is allows you to get mystic items when you actually are farming. Now this can be from any monster, and what you do with those, you actually disenchant them and you get some of the best enchanting mats that are on the market, which go for a good amount of price. Now if you've got more points to spend in your enchanting, you want to put this into draconic disenchantment. Basically you have more likelihood of getting better things when you disenchant. Now you know the setup, I'll show you some of the best farms to be doing to start up making your gold. Alright, so the first farm I'm going to be showing you is the air farm, the 2x4 rousing air farm. So we've got a group right here, and I'll head over to the spot and I'll show you how this works. Now with all these farms, I recommend only doing say an hour or so of each farm and then mixing it up. This way you won't get burned out of doing the same farm for hours and hours. You want to make sure this is as fun as possible, and I found the funnest way to do it is by mixing it up. Okay, so this is one spot for the rousing air farming. It's located right here. So if I go back out, it is right here. And basically your role, if you're a druid, is to tag the mobs and pull them into the statue where they then will be killed. And then you simply want to loot them up, and you're going to get rousing airs from these guys. As you can see, we just got some then, and we actually just got a mystic item. So these items are used to disenchant, so I'll just show you what that means. This one's only a blue, you get purples, but as you can see, we just got that from it, a vibrant shard. Now if it was a purple, you get the more expensive material. So as a puller, like I said, you basically want to just tag the mobs, run back to the statue, and this will drag the mobs to the statue where they then will be killed. This spot is alright. There's a few other spots you can actually do this exact farm. This seems to work pretty well, this spot. This is one of the spots I recommend doing, and this will be for your rousing airs. Now with this farm, they are spread out a fair bit, so you want to make sure you are pulling them all the way to the side, and then you want to make sure you're obviously bringing them back to the statue, and make sure you're looting every few minutes before the loot disappears for you. So as you can see, there's some that spawn all the way over here, there's some that spawn all the way up the top here, and you want to make sure you're grabbing all of these for your group, running them back, and making sure that they get aggro from the statue. Now once you have 10 of these, you can actually click on this and it will turn it into an awakened air. Now the awakened airs seem to sell a lot better on the auction house. A lot more people actually want these. As you can see, the data there, they're worth about 360 gold currently at the moment. However, the prices do go up and down, but the rousing farms always seem to have a decent value of the farm. Moving on to the rousing earth farm, here is another location for it. So right here, and you go inside this little cave entrance right here, and the farm is located inside the cave. So I'll show you how this one works. Let's head down in here. Your job as a puller is basically, and obviously, to pull the mobs down to the statue where they all are killed. As you can see, massive big pile of them. Now you want to do all these farms as a 2x4 farm, and this is a very good farm, one of the best rousing earth farms in the game. As you can see, just off that first loot, we actually just got 10 of them, so we can already turn that into an awakening. So just like that, once it loads, we have one awakened earth. Basically what you want to do as a puller is you want to make sure that at least one of the pullers are going all the way up to the entrance and actually getting these top guys, because by getting these top guys, it'll actually make the spawn hyper spawn, and it goes a lot better. So you just want to grab these, run down, make sure you don't die, go all the way down to where the statue is, let the DPS people and the statue people kill them off, and then you just want to keep running around pulling more and more. Now this is a great farm at the moment. There's a lot of gold to be made in this farm, and this is how you do the rousing earth farm. And also you're going to be getting mystics from your enchanting, which you can disenchant for even extra gold. Alright, so here we have the rousing frost and air farm. So this one is located right here. If I zoom out a bit for you, right here is where it is located. Basically you want to do a 2x4 farm here, and you're basically pulling everything mainly with a hunter or with a druid. As you can see, you get rousing frost and rousing air here, so it's kind of the best of both worlds. You get a bit of both. You're going to need obviously some people to do DPS. You're going to need a monk with a statue, just like any other 2x4 farm. And then you want to run around, if you're a druid puller, you want to run around and pull them, or if you're a druid DPS, you just want to DPS them. But this is a very good farm, and it works extremely well. Now there are some that spawn all the way up here, so you maybe want to make sure that you're getting them too. As you can see, all the way up here, this is mainly what the druid or the hunters will be pulling. You do want to make sure you are getting the top ones, just like so, and then run them back to the statue. Now this is a very good farm. This is the main reason you actually get 2 of the rousings here, and diversifying is always key, and you can make a lot of gold here. This has always been a very good farm throughout Dragonflight, and I highly recommend it, and it's a pretty fun farm too. Oh nice, so this is an example of the items you get, the mystics, that you can actually disenchant. So I'll disenchant that. I'll show you. This is from having the enchanting spec and having enchanting. So you can actually get these, and you can disenchant the most valuable gem, which is currently 2k, and these add up really good for your gold per hour. That is why I recommend going with enchanting and tailoring. Mainly this is from enchanting, and you got to make sure that you have this right here inside of the blue maxed out, and then you have the most chance of actually getting these to drop. As you can see, it goes up every few talents. You can get an extra 5% there, extra 10% there, and this will really add up over the hours that you farm. Okay guys, so the next spot for farming rousings is the rousing fire and the rousing frost spot. So this has spawns of both. These guys right here, they drop the frost, and then the fire guys obviously drop the fire ones. Now this is located right here in the walking shores. Depending on the prices, people may be doing the other farms more often. It may be harder to find a group here, but this is a great spot also to farm if you just want to mix it up. So this is probably going to be named either the rousing fire or like 2x4 fire in looking for group. And you want to have your 2x4 set up the top here with a monk statue, and then you just want to pull all the mobs. There's all the mobs down, all the way down there too. You want to pull them back to the monk statue, and this is where you kill them off. At the moment, people are doing the more popular ones. Let's just have a little look. I don't think I could actually find a 2x4 for this. So a lot of them are doing like the air and the ones I've just shown. Don't think there is any groups right at the moment for this fire and frost one. However, people just like to do the one that has the best prices at the current time. So this could be, if you're watching this video a bit later, there could be a whole heap of groups in the looking for group for this farming spot. It is a very good farming spot. You do get a whole heap of the rousings from here. And like I mentioned, it's located right here. You can come do it solo. It's pretty easy to kill them. You just want to set up, say, in a guardian spec or a tank spec, and you're good to go. Like, I'll just show you a little example here, and you should be right. I'm not even like crazy geared, and these guys are just very easy to kill. Basically, you just want to pull a whole heap of them, then burn them down. If you've got a guardian druid, it's super easy. I'm sure it'd be easy on other classes, maybe like a tank DK could do this too, also really easily. But as you can see, your health barely goes down with these guys, and they die pretty easily, to be honest. As you can see, just like that. And then they're gonna have chances to drop the rousing fire, and then your rousing frost. And this too is a very good farm. What I like to do is I like to jump in between all these farms, do like an hour of each. That way, by the end of it, you've got a whole heap of different rousings and awakenings. Alright, so moving on now to the next lot of farms. I think I'll show you some cloth farms. The main two are the Decay farm, and then also the new HYPERSPAWN. So I'll show you that also. Now, when you're focusing on the cloth farms, like I mentioned before, you really need tailoring, and you want to have the cloth collection. This will highly increase your gold per hour when doing the cloth farms. Now, there are a few more rousing farms and locations that you can do. What I recommend though is just checking in the looking for group. Usually people post the most profitable ones or the easiest ones to do, and then you can just go with them, or you can start your own group for whichever one you'd like to farm. Alrighty, so this is the first cloth farm that I'm showing you. It's the HYPERSPAWN. You're going to be getting your frostbitten wilder cloth, your tainted wilder cloth, and you also get wilder cloth bolts from this one. Now this farm is just so good because of how many mobs you can actually kill, and if you have the right profession, so you want to have obviously enchanting and tailoring, like I mentioned with the specs I showed, you can get a whole heap of cloth here, and you can also get a whole heap of the mystics, which you disenchant. It's a very good farm. You can kill a whole heap of mobs here. They hyperspawn super fast, and with the right groups and setup, you can actually farm a whole heap of gold from this one. As you can see, one of the guys just got an epic mystic, which it will disenchant for good gold, and this is located right here. So in the AZURE span, right down in the left corner. Anyways, this is the first cloth farm. Now I'll show you the next one. Alrighty, so this is the Decayed wilder cloth farm. Now these things sell for a very good amount, and this is one of the best cloth farms in the game. Like I mentioned, you're going to need tailoring and your enchanting to boost up the gold per hour. Where this is located is right here, like on the top of the mountain. So this is down in AZURE span, and it's located right here. And now I'm doing the tank roll, so basically I just stand at the statue here, spam AoEs, and as you can see, you get your frostbitten cloth, and you also get your decayed wilder cloth and wilder cloth. So all the main cloths you're going to be getting here, and it adds up really fast. And you're killing a whole heap of mobs, so you will get a whole heap of mystics that you can disenchant. Now as the tank roll, it's very easy. You should just stand here, spam your AoE, and help do damage and hold aggro. Very simple. If you're a puller, you want to run up inside that house over there, and then all the way up behind us, and make sure you pull all the mobs. Now I really like this gold farm, just because how much gold you can actually make per hour from here. It's a very relaxing farm. Definitely too if you are the tank. So if you're either the monk or a tank druid for one of the groups, it's a very chill farm. Now you do want to do this in a 2x4, like all the farms I've showed you so far, they all want to be done in a 2x4 setup, meaning there's 2 groups of 4 people. This way you get the most amount of gold per hour, because you all share loots, or like loot tables, meaning that 8 people can help each other farm the same loot. like I mentioned, this one's located right here and is a great farm to do. Now the next farm I'll show you is a crazy HYPERSPAWN. It's also a cloth farm, and you can get a whole heap of kills per hour there, giving you a whole heap of mystics and cloth and just a whole heap of gold from all of these. They're all really good gold farms. As you can see, I just got one of the epic mystics, so when you disenchant that, that's going to add another 2k gold. We've got a few other blues, but that is one of the best parts about having the right professions at this farm. You get a whole heap of bonus cloth, and you also get the mythics. Oh, we just disenchanted it, and we actually got two of of these right here, the resonant crystals, which are worth about 4k for two of them at the moment. So that really bumps up your gold per hour with these HYPERSPAWN cloth farms. And this is the HYPERSPAWN cloth farm. So it's called the Gnome HYPERSPAWN. So it's located right here, just to the right side of where the old one used to be. And once you get this going, you can get a whole heap of cloth from here. And with your enchanting, you're going to be getting a whole heap of the mystics, and you make a whole heap of gold from here. So you're also getting your frostbitten cloth, a lot of it. And this is a very, very good farm. You're obviously going to need a lot of pullers. The second group is going to obviously need a monk. And once you get this HYPERSPAWNing, there's a whole heap of gold. So if you didn't see the location, it's just to the right. The old farm used to be about here, and this is where the new one is. They nerfed the one on the other side, but this is the new location. Alright, so next I'll be showing you the glowing Titan orb farm. Alrighty, so this is the Titan orb farm. So basically, now they've changed it and done a buff to the loot table, so the smaller mobs here actually drop the glowing Titan orb also, making you be able to get a whole heap more of these per hour. We actually just got one. So this is what we're farming, the glowing Titan orb. And now you just want a group that can do a decent amount of damage. You don't have to have like all druids or anything like that. Whoever can do just basically the highest damage is the best classes to have. So the more geared the people are, the better off you are basically. Now you don't like lose anything by having a group, so I recommend doing this with a group. You just list it up in looking for group, and you should be able to find a whole heap of people that want to do this farm. Basically how we're doing it is just flying around from mob to mob, killing the big guys mainly, and then moving on to the next big mob. So as you can see, they went over here. Where are they actually? Around the corner? Oh, they went down under. So the guys spawn all the way around here, down the bottom, up the top. They're absolutely everywhere. And the main goal, like I mentioned, is just do as much DPS as you can, and this will increase the amount of glowing Titan orbs you get per hour. So I'll just show you where the farm is. All around this thing right here, where you'll find these guys that actually drop it. So the big guys, the little guys, all these now actually drop them, and you can get a whole heap of these per hour. So as you can see, we're just basically flying from mob to mob wherever there's a big density of groups, pulling all of them, getting them together, then just AoE them down as a group. This is the best way to do this farm, I reckon. You have everyone just doing some big AoE damage, and these things die super quick. Now this is an RNG farm, meaning that you've got to have decent RNG to actually get the glowing Titan orbs, and that's pretty much the only thing you'll be making money off. However, you should expect to make like more than 50k all the way up to 100k per hour actually doing this farm. As you can see, we just got another glowing Titan orb, so they're not rare at all, and you get a whole heap of them per hour. Alright, so there's two more farms that I'm going to show you. They're both used to make the new mount in Dragonflight. So first off, the TUSKARR JERKY. I'll take you over to that farming spot. Now you can do these in a group, or you can do them solo. Both ways work really good. Having a group doesn't affect or do anything negative, so you might as well get a group of people to help farm. However, if you like doing things solo, you can do them solo too. But look at the price, it's currently really high, and this would be a very good farm to do right now. Alrighty, so this is where you farm the TUSKARR JERKY. So right here, where this pool is in the AZURE. And now you can do this solo, but if you're doing it solo, I recommend being like a tanky class, say like Guardian if you're a druid. That way you can pull a whole heap more of them. I'll just show you where the mobs are. So they spawn in the middle here, and then they spawn up the top here. There's a whole heap of them. So all these guys right here have a chance of actually dropping it. So there's a little mob of them there. There's another group of them over here. And then they're just spread out basically all around this area. So that camp, this camp up here, there's another little group of them here. All the way around the water, you can actually find them. As you can see, they spawn in the middle here. And if you're just doing it solo, you just want to pull as many as you can, get them all together, and then simply just kill them all, loot them up, and they are pretty common to actually drop it. So how I like to do this farm is by actually farming the camps up the top here. This is where there is the most of them, and simply I just go from camp to camp, pull them all, kill them all, and then move on to the next camp. There's a kind of bigger guy here, but it's still only got 180k, but this one is a quest one, and he actually has 455k. So you want to make sure you're kind of geared if you're going to pull these big guys, but we should be fine as Guardian. It's got so much self-healing and stuff like that. We should be absolutely fine. They just want to burn them down. I'm pretty sure we should be able to get one from this mob pretty easily. Maybe if you're focusing the big guy, you die a bit quicker. Then you just want to keep on AoEing them down. Make sure your health stays up. And then once we're done here, I simply move on to the next little like group of them over there at all them huts, and then by the time you get them, you can come back to this one and they should have respawned by then. Now this is a great farm to do solo. There is no hyperspawn here, so by doing a 2x4 group, yeah, you'll get a bit more of it, but it's not like you're going to make them hyperspawn and just get a ridiculous amount. That is why the prices are so good. As you can see, we just got 2 TUSKARR jerkies just like that. I'm not too sure if I showed the map, but here is where the location is. So just down the bottom of the AZURE, around this lake here with the island in the middle. So all around this lake, you'll actually find the mobs that will drop the TUSKARR jerky. Alright, so just to the right of where we were is another farm that actually gives an item that is also used to make the new Dragonflight mount, and that is the flash frozen meat. So this is located right here, just in like the middle of AZURE, and this is a great farm too to do solo, or you can do it with a group. And basically what you want to do, there's like a camp with these guys right here, so the snow hide guys, and these all have a chance to drop the flash frozen meat. So there's some in there. If we just go down the bottom, more spawn down here that have been killed already. They spawn inside this building, there's a whole heap of them. And basically if you're just doing a solo, you just want to pull as many as you can handle depending on your gear and your spec and everything. Then you just want to burn them down and then move on to the next mob of them. They're pretty common. It's about the same drop chance as the TUSKARR jerky to actually get these, and it's a great farm to do solo, and I highly recommend trying this one out. And I recommend checking on the auction house, seeing which one has the best price, and then simply going for that farm if you want to try them out, or just do like an hour of each, mix it up, or you can go in between. Once you get bored of this spot, you can go over to the other spot. Now this was the final gold farm that I'm going to recommend to do. So the best way to make your first few 100,000k is definitely by all the farms I'm just shown. Now another thing that you can do, if you have a character with herbalism and mining, you could also do herbalism and mining, and the best spot to do that is in the waking shores, sorry. And you'll basically just want to fly around the water's edge all the way down here, then just want to stay on the water's edge and then get back on the river and just go around in circles like that. And it's a great way to farm gold also. Now all these farms that I've shown, they're all inside of my my gold making guide, which you can get, which will be the first link down below, where I go into more detail about these farms and also a whole heap more farms that you can do But now that you've made your first few 100k, it is time to start investing your gold into flips so that your gold can be making money for you while you're out doing more farms, and this will be the quickest way to your first million gold. Alright, so now I'll teach you a bit about flipping and how it works. First off, I'll show you some flips that I've done, but basically flipping means you're buying something for low and then you're reselling it for more, and you keep the profit in between. So this is a character that I've only made a couple weeks ago, and I'm doing a challenge from 0 to gold cap from 100% just flipping on the auction house. And we've got a decent amount of gold so far, and we've also got like a whole heap of items listed up in the auction house. Oh, they've actually all expired, but we've got nearly 8 million gold worth of items that we are posting on the auction house and selling to flip. So our mailbox should be chockers. So yeah, we've got 557 items. I'll just show you a few of the items that have flipped and that we've made a lot of gold from. So here are some examples of some flips. This companion we only paid 5k for, and we managed to resell that for 110k, giving us 105k profit. Now here is a island expedition sword that we only paid 8k for, and we managed to resell it for 99k, giving us around about a 90k profit. Another mace, this is an island expedition mace that we brought for 5,999, and we resold it for 76k, giving us a 70k profit straight into our bags. Now here's another item, the Duskhaven breeches. We've brought two of them for around 5k each, and we managed to sell one for 60k. So that's a 55k profit. As you can see, there's a whole heap of items here that we've sold. This one's pretty cool. We only paid 2 gold and 58 silver, and we resold it for 27k. And basically how I'm doing this is all with TSM, and I have TSM operations that will make sure whenever I buy an item, I'll never sell it for less than I brought. I'll always sell it so it's profitable. So how it works, basically in TSM you have a scanning thing under browsing, and you can do a shopping scan. And in the shopping scan has groups that I've personally made with items that I recommend flipping. And you simply just run a shopping scan and it will go through all of the items. So we have 3,638 items in the shopping list at the moment. And then on the side here it will give you a percent, and this is a percent of the market value. So anything that is really low, the lower the better, means that it is posted way below the market value. And what I do is buy the ones that are super cheap below the market value, and then I relist them undercutting the next competition or at the market value, and they tend to sell really well. Now if you want these exact flipping groups and my TSM settings and operations that you can plug straight into your TSM so you can copy exactly what I'm doing, that will be all inside my flipping guide, which will be the first link down below in the description box. But basically all you've got to do is run one of these scans. You find an item, for an example you look at the market price, it's got a market price of 4,801 gold, and someone is listing it right now. Well, there's 3 listed for only 1,000 gold. So what I'll do is I'd buy all of them up, or 3 of them that are 1,000 gold, and then I'd relist them undercutting the next person that's the highest. So undercutting the next person at 5,560 gold, and then when this sells you'd make about a 4k profit. And that is how you do flipping in World of Warcraft. This is the best way to do it. All these items are around Pacific, so they're not on the region wide auction house, and I tend to find are the best items to flip. So basically what you do, you just keep buying all the best deals, relist them up on the auction house by coming here, and then you run a post scan. It will post them up for the correct prices that will always be profitable for you. How I've got my TSM operations and settings set up, it will basically always be 50% more than what you brought it, or it will just post at that. That way you're always making profit when you are flipping. Now this is a great thing to do with your gold that you've farmed. So like I mentioned before, you want to farm up say a few 100k gold, and then you want to start investing your gold into flipping items, and then you can keep on going out and farming even more gold. That way, while you're out farming, your gold is also working for you, making you even more gold, and this will be the quickest way to reach your first million gold in World of Warcraft. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and check out the guides. That'll be the first link down below in the description box. Till next one, take care.